The Denver Broncos, who started the season 1-5, are one game behind the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West, and the playoffs are still in sight. What a wonderful way to start the week before Christmas week. What's up, everybody? Kim Becker here with E5280 Sports and Lifestyle presents Between the Lines. And let's recap what went down on Sunday in Los Angeles when the Denver Broncos beat their AFC West rivals, the Los Angeles Chargers. The Denver Broncos were 3-point underdogs going into their game against the Chargers, and they emerged victorious with a 24-7 win over Los Angeles. They led the entire game and proved that they are the team to be reckoned with in the AFC West, especially after the Las Vegas Raiders lost to the Minnesota Vikings 3-0, and literally there was no score until the final minute of the game. That was such a wild game. But anyway, back to the Denver Broncos, who indeed beat the Los Angeles Chargers. And news came out on Tuesday that quarterback Justin Herbert broke his finger in the Broncos game. He had surgery and he will be out for the rest of the season. So this bodes well for the Denver Broncos, who are looking to catch up with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm sure all of you saw Patrick Mahomes have a meltdown about the offensive offsides call that the refs made that took back that pretty sick play, I'm not going to lie, that Travis Kelce had that would have allowed the Kansas City Chiefs to go up and to beat the Buffalo Bills. But alas, it did not work. It was called back. And then a lot of drama surrounding the Kansas City Chiefs, who have had their worst start in many years, 8-5. So we've got the Chiefs, who are 8-5. We've got the Broncos, who are 7-6, and we have the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers, who are both 5-8 and are going head-to-head this weekend against one another. The Denver Broncos will be on the road taking on the Detroit Lions on Saturday night. They are 5.5-point underdogs, and honestly, I would take the points with the Broncos, especially after the way the Lions played against the Bears this past weekend. I do think Denver holds a candle to the Lions. They've been playing better on the road. They do have a tight-knit performance for most of the game, minus the last few minutes of the Texans game, of course, in Houston a couple of weeks ago. But the Denver Broncos really seem like they are on the right trajectory. It seems like their football IQ across the roster is very high. They are working well together. You're seeing the chemistry between Russell Wilson and Courtland Sutton, of course, and the defense has been playing very, very well. So I do think they will give the Detroit Lions a run for their money. So when we're talking about your money, I like the Broncos against the spread. Kickoff of that game is 6:15 p.m., and you can catch it on NFL Network on Saturday night. The Denver Broncos will look to go 8-6 before returning home to host the New England Patriots on Christmas Eve night. That will be a primetime game, Sunday Night Football. And then New Year's Eve, they will host the Los Angeles Chargers without Justin Herbert. They then finish their season on January 7th in Las Vegas against the Raiders. Now, the Colorado Avalanche had a very thrilling game on Monday night. They headed into the third period down 5-3 against the Calgary Flames. But in that third period, they came back to win it. 3 goals were scored, and the last one by Nathan MacKinnon, who had a breakaway and took the lead for the Colorado Avalanche. Nathan MacKinnon had the breakaway goal with a few minutes left in the third period to take the lead for the Avs. 6-5 was the final score. MacKinnon had the first star of the night, and he also currently leads the NHL when it comes to points in games consecutively. 12 games in a row, Nathan MacKinnon has had at least 1 point. He had 2 on Monday night with a goal and an assist. The Colorado Avalanche will be back in Ball Arena on a Wednesday night hosting the Buffalo Sabres. The Denver Nuggets are in Chicago on Tuesday for the second game of their 2-game road trip. They did beat the Hawks on the road on Monday night, so they're looking to capitalize on their 1-game win streak and beat the Bulls for the second time this season in Chicago. They will finish up their road trip and then head to Ball Arena for a 3-game homestand. Thursday, they'll host the Nets. Saturday, they will host the Thunder, and Monday they will host the Mavericks. They had their first home loss on Friday night with the Rockets in town, so hopefully they can get back on track here. But hey, only 1 loss in Ball Arena so far this season, not too shabby. It's pretty nice to be talking about the championship NBA team, the reigning champs, and an Avalanche team who is really showing that they could be a Stanley Cup contender if they continue to play with the grit and the resilience and bounce back after their losses. And to talk about the Denver Broncos, who truly, I mean, this is like a Cinderella story if we're looking at the first 6 weeks of the season. They were 1-5 people, and they are now 7-6, 1 game behind the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers and the Raiders are pretty much irrelevant at this point. Like, this is exciting. And I just want to take a moment to thank the Christmas spirits for such a wonderful week in Colorado sports. Also, CSU men's basketball, absolutely killing it. We've got a lot of great stuff to celebrate in the Mile High State. So stay tuned right here to E5280 Sports and Lifestyle for everything that you need when it comes to Colorado sports. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you guys right back here next week.